Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Thank you, Byakuya, for being the voice of reason here.
Well, because they're not here anymore. Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall.
Okay.
And then later, she wound up dead.
I was afraid of that. But...
I got it!
But we accounted for this possibility.
Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
We were ready for this.
Possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
Then the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
Indeed.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
Doesn't matter
So
right
you're
now.
saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
Yes.
In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
True. But I have plenty of evidence against that.
After all.
Fuck yourself, Toko.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
That's okay, Makoto. We have plenty of proof up our sleeves. You just don't know it yet.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
I would say, especially considering you know who the killer is as well as me.
If the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Oh, okay. Sure. Tell me more, Mr. Game. The Hangman's Gambit. Alright, I have an idea as to what this might be. Deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Oh, okay. Shooting down the flying letters in the... Okay. Interesting. Not what I was expecting. Alright, and there's letters already known then. I can also tap if I so desire. I'm not sure I will tap though. My influence gauge will suffer. Alrighty then. Well, I better do neither of those things. Preferably speaking, at least. Something that should have been at the scene, but wasn't. I'm going with hair. Or, you know, any kind of stuff in the cleanliness of the room. Yeah, hair. Give me an A. Give me an R. Cool.
Now I understand.
I assumed that's what it would be. So
That's
good thing
right.
we're in like
There
Flynn.
wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit,
Why would I do that? It's
why
my
would
room.
I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there.
But
that
she
makes
was-
sense, does it not?
No, it doesn't. Her dead body
No.
was there. Of course she was
If that
there.
were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Kyoko, I am in love with you.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Yep.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
I'm kind of off the hook a little bit
Makoto
here.
isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No.
There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
Oh, you and that little smirk,
I would
Kyoko.
like to hear these reasons.
I would like to tell these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
I do. I remember a little
Sayaka
note.
was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom.
Oh, also true.
right?
Yeah.
Getting a little bit
Then
ahead of
he
myself
ran
here.
after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
Yes,
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
they did.
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom.
Because...
There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
I do. Thank you, Mrs. Tutorial. AKA Kyoko. Kyoko the Tutorial Master. Where is my bathroom? How interesting. Bathroom door frame, bathroom doorknob, and then I have them back to back. The doorknob is broken. Oh, I need to triangle to present it, not X.
Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Of course she is.
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
Chihiro, did you ever
In
even go
trying
in?
to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room?
I'm saying I couldn't have broken the
But if
door
the
in my
only
own
choice
room.
you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
Yeah, that's suspicious of you, isn't it, Leon?
You still don't see?
Leon. Never mind.
Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
It would be bewildering. Sure. It would be bewildering for me because I knew that my door was broken. Nobody else knew that my door was broken. So for anybody else, it made sense. And no one else would think twice about the door being open because it doesn't normally lock. So the fact that the door is broken open is strong evidence against me because I would have no reason to do it otherwise because no one else knew about my faulty door. Okay, let's not do any false anythings then, shall we, Mr. Narrator? Let's think this out logically. Are you gonna start giving me more bullets that I have to worry about too? Is that gonna start happening here? I would imagine it is. Okay, let's get this on the road. Bathroom door frame. Is that the only bullet I have? It's the only bullet I have.
The
Alright.
incident took place in Makoto's room.
Did.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
True.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Also true.
Then the killer ran after her,
Yeah,
and they got into the bathroom.
they did.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
Wrong!
No, that's wrong.
Get destroyed!
The
Remember,
reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
right.
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Get told.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was broken.
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
It's true. He can.
Yup. True as true can, but you know,
Oops.
you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
You are correct.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. so they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Which was a silly thing to do.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
Because they're an idiot.
Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The door, the nameplates were switched, which is an odd thing that I actually don't have an answer to.
The killer must not have
What?
Oh, oops.
Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
But it's
And
not.
yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
The
And there
bathroom
would
would have
have been a
locked.
lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
Indeed.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately,
fact.
we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
Right.
That is a definite possibility.
Thank you,
So the
Byakuya.
killer would
I actually
have
like
to be
Byakuya.
someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Which would be anybody
Then
besides the two of
Makoto
us.
couldn't have done it.
Finally, Toko. Finally. Finally coming around.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
We're getting
But
there, Hifumi. We're
What
getting there.
happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Oh, we'll decide. Promise.
Why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
Taka, we still have evidence to go
Majority
over.
rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
For
Does
serious.
no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Okay.
Oh, you...
Oh, come on.
You don't
Celeste.
gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Unfortunately, I still don't have a solid
Sayaka
answer.
just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Also shouldn't be
Negative.
possible.
If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No.
That can't be it either.
When Sayaka went to get the
Oh.
knife.
Trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because we switched keys, and she wasn't gonna open the door for anyone. Because, let me see this here. Makoto's... Switch with her when someone attempted to force their way into her room. I'm guessing that's what I have to present. I don't think I have anything that says that she wasn't gonna open the door for anybody.
Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
It's true. Okay, cool. I'm pretty sure I got the right thing. Yes, yes. And then after this, she must have gone and got a knife, which if she wouldn't have done, she wouldn't have died.
knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh?
It's possible.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
That's odd. Where did you get that? Kyoko?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows.
That is
When
odd.
you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
So was
It's a
Sayaka
pretty
trying to murder
old-fashioned
someone?
technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
Of course.
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
I mean, there is one more possibility,
but
which
why?
doesn't make a
Why
lot
would
of
she write
sense.
that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
Yeah.
You got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation. What young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Okay.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note?
No, we can't. And that's the most
honestly,
interesting thing.
Even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Sure.
Very well then. Pay attention.
Oh, what are we going into now? Oh my god, we're going into non-stop time. Dorm nameplates. Okay. I thought that was
Sayaka and
suspicious.
Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Correct.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
Yes.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Yes.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Not true because the nameplates were switched, remember. Okay, show me again. The reason for that is that the nameplates were switched.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Correct. Oh
But
no,
in
what's
the
this
note,
fast forward
the
button
place
circle?
they were asked to come, it specifically says, I see. So then they would have gone to Sayaka. Exactly. The room that
Let's take a look at this. Because the nameplates were switched, so it actually wouldn't have been the room I was in. Technically it was,
The
but it says
nameplates on
check
Mai
the
and Sayaka's
nameplates.
rooms got switched.
they got switched?
Yes.
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name.
Indeed.
And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Indeed.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right, I didn't.
Right? Okay, then who did it?
Sayaka could have.
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
Assuming that she read it. Check the nameplates, it says. It's still possible she didn't write it,
specifically
but
tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
true. Statement of fact.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
To what
Inviting
end,
someone to your
though?
room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
That's the
understand
million-dollar
that,
question.
We first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
Fair.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her.
Not
We
necessarily.
figured it out. We know who did it. Whoever she invited over is the culprit.
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Potentially.
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes?
Potentially.
Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah.
Potentially,
What's
yes.
the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
There was gold dust on her wrist. Right now I'm being kind of quiet because I'm trying to figure out if there is any possibility that she couldn't have written the note because her wrist was broken.
Wrist.
That would be
And it should
something for a
become pretty
timeline.
clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you.
True.
And there's some on her wrist because...
She was whacked with it.
Because she got hit with the sword right there on her wrist.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
We're getting there.
Then it's
slowly
about
but
time
surely.
to solve this mystery.
No.